And so I told him, like, I don't care how hot he was. He looks like Salt Bae. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes. Yes.
He looks like Salt Bae. And I'm like, I don't care how hot you are. I'm not coming over. And that was, like, the end of our conversation. Hey, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Like the Queens.
You look so scared doing that.
I thought about it. Now I think too much about it, and I'm scared I'm going to mess up every week.
And say, hey, gay, every week.
Yeah. But I nailed it this week, so thank you.
That's honestly my favorite thing that you do. I wait for it.
I got it down. I got my life together for once. For this one episode, Great. Everybody.
Amazing. I just noticed your hair is blow dried out. What did you do?
Yeah, I straightened it. I just didn't want to wash it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to straighten it because it looks better that way. I also filmed a couple self-tapes yesterday. So, for that occasion as well.
That is what I'm doing right after this. And I've also, our listeners don't know, I did test positive for COVID.
She did.
So I've been in quarantine for over a week. Like, I'm clear now, and, like, I went out for the first time yesterday. But I still, like, am congested a little bit, and I have a cough now. But I'm not contagious, which is good. But I've had to email some people, and I've had to be like, hey, I want to audition, but I cannot physically do this right now because of COVID. And they're like, that's completely fine. We understand. Like, give it to us before February. And I'm like, great. Awesome.
Sweet.
And so tonight, I'm making Josh read with me for this thing I have to do. But he's, like, refusing to do it, so I might have to have my dad. But I really want Josh to because there's bad words in it.
Yeah.
And my family's super Christian.
Josh is going to have to pull through just those ones to help his sister
out. I know.
Oh my
and my
gosh.
mom's like, you literally can't help her get this job. And Josh is like, no.
What is he doing?
Nothing.
I want to know.
He's not doing anything.
That's annoying. My brother, I force him to read my self-tapes with me.
But your brother's also an actor.
He's also in theater, so it helps.
Yes. Mine's an aerospace engineer.
Money moves.
Victoria.
For all the listeners, I want to date Liz's brother. And
I want her too as well.
Because I never actually got to meet him throughout the whole time I have known Liz. Even when I was living at her house, he was off in college. So we never got to, like, meet and have that initial spark that I know that we would have. So that's the backstory there.
Yes. We actually started talking about it over the summer. I was like, Victoria, I actually know someone who is your age and who you should date. And she's like, who? And I'm like, my brother. And he's going to be rich because he's an engineer.
Yeah.
Majoring in engineering. So he can take care of you.
I'm definitely intrigued. Maybe one day I'll actually meet him face to face.
And he's got the blue eyes and curly hair too.
Yeah. I love some blue eyes.
So you're set.
And he's tall.
And he's tall. He's like 6'1", 6'2", something like that. My other brother's 6'5", but, like, you have to wait a couple years for him.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Oh my goodness. So anyway, Lester now.
Off my brothers. Do you have anything else to tell me?
I don't think so. I've kind of... Guys, wait, I do have something to tell you. My Bumble got banned. Banned? I do not have a Bumble anymore. And because I went back onto the app and I was completely logged out again, and I was like, why does this keep happening? And then I logged back in and it was like, you've been banned. And I was like,
why have you been banned?
They said it was because of my bio. Which, again, as I told you guys last week, was I'm just a girl trying to find a place in this world. Those are Taylor Swift lyrics. So unless Taylor Swift herself said to ban my Bumble because of copyright issues, I don't really understand what's on there. And I emailed Bumble support, and they were like, I just got like some automated response, and it was like everybody who's been banned from Bumble got banned for like the correct reason. So, and I was like, okay, sweet.
So you can't have an account ever?
I guess not. I was like, I don't know if it's banned for life. I don't know if I have to wait like a month or something. I have not. No. I still don't have one.
You know what you need to do?
What?
Get a WhatsApp, get a fake number like that, and use that to create another profile for yourself.
Yeah. Might have to do that because I'm livid about it. And I guess I just don't use any lyrics. And the thing is, that bio is my Tinder bio. So I don't really understand what happened there. I mean, luckily, I'm not really, like, I'm not really heavy on the dating app scene right now, just because I do leave for New York in 5 days, so Yay. I'm not really I'm not, like, swiping or anything, but still, my Bumble got banned. Not just, like Tinder and Hinge.
I'm so sorry.
Hot take, those are not my favorites. I'm a Bumble girl. Those are not,
Bumble is my absolute favorite. The men on Tinder are just not cute.
I agree with that statement.
They're just not cute. I've met one guy from Tinder, and he was a guy who I went to college with, who I knew, so I don't even think that really counts.
Yeah. The only people I met on Tinder were hookups. Never anyone who's actually taken me out to, like, on a date first.
Speaking of dating apps, I do have something to tell you.
Okay.
About dating apps. So my mom was watching the news the other day, and she's like, hey, Liz, I did this whole thing about dating apps and which ones are the best to meet people. And I think Bumble was like number one. Or no, Hinge was number one. And then it was Bumble and OkCupid. Have you ever heard of OkCupid?
I've heard of OkCupid.
I've heard of it too, and I never used it. But then, this past week, I've been in quarantine and bored out of my mind. So I've been on the dating apps quite a bit. And I'm like, you know what? I am running out of options on Bumble. I'm so bored. And so I downloaded OkCupid.
Okay.
This was maybe like a night or two ago. And I don't like it as much as Bumble or Hinge. It's just like a little bit more difficult to use.
Yeah.
It's so shallow, but you can't see guys' heights right away. Like, you have to click on their profile and, like, read more. It doesn't, like, pop up.
Yeah. No, I get it, though. That's important information.
But the guys on there are much more open to talking, I've learned, than, like, the other apps where, like, they'll just ghost you like that. These guys are so receptive to conversation. And I'm going to show everyone his picture. I don't care. This man?
That is a beautiful man.
That
beautiful man.
He's a European, traveling the East Coast right now. So, of course, me and another European traveler.
Right up Liz's alley.
What am I doing? And so he invited me over last night to his hotel to drink wine. And I said, I know what you're doing, and I'm not going to do that. 2022 is the year where I'm no longer accepting, like, half dates or, like, come to my place kind of dates. Like, it's 2022. We women deserve an actual date over a guy just trying to skip straight to the hookup part. Like, I understand if you want to try to get to that point, but you need to make more of an effort before you get there.
Period. Okay. I love that attitude.
Yeah. And so I told him, like, I don't care how hot he was. He looks like Salt Bae. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes. Yes.
He looks like Salt Bae. And I'm like, I don't care how hot you are. I'm not coming over. And that was, like, the end of our conversation. But,
guys just can't handle it.
But, there's more. There's more. All from OkCupid.
OkCupid.
I know. I think you should try it. This guy and I, we literally planned a date right before Wisconsin, and like, we found out about Wisconsin a week before we had to leave to get there, and so I had to cancel my date with him, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, like, I would have never planned this with you if I would have known this was happening. He messaged me in November, the day before I was leaving to go to Asheville, asking me if I was back home, and I'm like, I'm leaving for another job. I'm like, I wish you would have messaged me earlier, I'm so sorry. And he was like, oh, that's completely fine. I found him on OkCupid, and I liked him, and he liked me, and he messaged me, and he's like, He messaged me and I said to him, I was like, are you back in town or are you
Yeah.
in town? Because he's also an actor. But he does a lot of film and television more. And he's pretty out there with film and television. Like, go him. He's been in a featured, like, Hulu show, stuff like that. He's really cool.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I know. He's like, yeah, I'm back in town. Are you? And I said, yeah, I am. I'm like, you want to go on that date? And he's like, do you still have my number? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so I think we're going on a date this Thursday. Finally, like,
Okay.
7 months later.
Yeah.
Me and this guy. And I'm excited. He's tall, he's cute, he's an actor, he understands the life. Like, he's never gotten mad at me once for telling him, no, I can't because I'm leaving for a job. And so I'm excited about meeting him. I'm very excited.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is download OkCupid because my Bumble got banned.
Yes.
Okay.
And, like, some of the same people are on there. You'll see similar people.
Nice.
Second guy, I recognized a girl that was in his, like, picture. I was, like, friends with her in elementary school, and, like, so I matched with him. He looked really familiar, too. And I looked up his name under, like, this guy who I thought he was friends with, and it turns out he is friends with this guy. Mm-hmm. Guess who his friend is, and that's why he looks so familiar.
I don't know. That one guy? Is it that one guy from that one party that we went to? That I forgot both of their names, but...
No. He is the bartender's friend, the guy who I just went out with a few weeks ago. And I'm like, this is how I know you. You went to school. I haven't told him, though. Yeah. I'm gonna go out with him. I hope he's not racist like his friend. Yeah. He's already showing, like, better conversation skills. He's funny. He asked me about myself, so, like, already on a positive start. But the reason I thought he was so familiar is not only because of the girl who I was friends with in elementary school, but because he's friends with a guy I've already went out on a date with. Mm-hmm. Is this shady of me?
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
I don't think so. I would personally do that. What a conversation starter. Like, your friend sucks.
I'm not going to tell him. Maybe, like, on the date, but, like, not before the date.
Yeah. No. I feel like that's not shady.
Okay.
Because what if you just genuinely never put two and two together? How would you know?
Yeah. I don't know. You would never know. I know, like, my mutual friend that the bartender and I have, like, he obviously knows and his family knows that we went out on a date because he asked him about me and, like, his family knows about me.
Yeah.
My friend's family, because he also talked to the mom about it, and so hopefully the friends don't talk a lot about who they go out with.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're frozen. Did you hear anything I said?
I heard your whole thing.
Okay, great.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're back.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, so that's that. And there's, like, some other minor things going on, too.
Okay.
I've been in quarantine. I've had nothing to do except talk to rando boys. You know?
Yeah.
So, we're also continuing this conversation about OkCupid. I saw a guy who I went to high school with. I'm just going to say that. I could say one thing and everyone I went to high school with would automatically know who I was talking about. Okay. But this guy was dorky, okay? So dorky. So, like, I never thought he was cute or anything. I saw his OkCupid profile, and I've been graduated for, like, 5 years now. This man is hot now. Hot. Like, he had a glow up. He's got a beard. He's got nice hair. He's got really nice pictures of himself. Like this dude could be, like, social media influencer pictures of himself. And I'm like, when did he get so hot? And why didn't I notice in high school? Like, he only dated, like, one girl in high school as well. Like, he was a dorky guy, but now he is top tier. But let me read you what's in his bio, and I would have never seen this coming, okay?
Okay.
Softly into BDSM. Ask me about my specific fetishes.
Just basing off of the description that you just gave of him, like complete, like dorky in high school, I don't think if I were in your position, I would have expected softly into BDSM either. But on the other side, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense. And now he's like great style, beard, hot. Like this guy's so yummy now. But I did not swipe on him. I know him. I've known this boy my entire life. I'm like, I cannot go on a date with him. And then also, like, the thing about OkCupid is people can write you intros before you even match with them. So, like, someone can send you a message and you can decide if you want to match with them or not, which is cool. Okay. Let me read you what this man sent me. I felt so bad and not to, like, be like, thank you. He wrote me a book.
That was long. Oh, my gosh.
He said, "Hi, Elizabeth, I'm blank. The fact is that I have never approached anyone in my life like this. I get nervous around someone like you. But also you're the one who gave me confidence to write this to you. I get a lot of racist comments on dating apps, but I feel the energy that you're open-minded. I have to say this to you, that you have been the prettiest face I have ever seen. I was fortunate to see your beautiful smile. I see that you've gotten a great education and you're ambitious. After seeing all of that, I couldn't help myself but to reach out to you. I have always been wanting to connect with someone like you. I graduated with MS in Industrial Engineering and Operations. I'm working in an aerospace company in Charlotte. How can we go about connecting and getting to know each other?"
That was very sweet. That was very sweet.
I felt so bad, but yeah, it was a lot. Number one, it was a lot, and like for dating apps, I feel like that's a big turn away for people.
Yeah, I agree. I would have been a little overwhelmed by that statement.
Yeah, I was really overwhelmed. Number two, it was really sweet. And, like, I wanted to be like, thank you. But also, I wasn't interested. Yeah. And I didn't want to give him a false hope.
I get that. I feel the same way.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing about dating apps, since we're talking about it.
Okay.
I want to give our listeners a piece of advice with something that I've learned to do with dating apps. Don't ask for their Snapchat anymore. Ask for their number. And once you get their number, I wrote the website down on my phone. Go to US Phone Book, put in their number, and you can find out their full name and everything about them.
Yes.
And there was this guy on OkCupid who I asked for his number, and I looked it up, and it wasn't a real number. Like, it's probably like a WhatsApp number or something like that. And that was immediately a red flag to me. And so I have not texted him or messaged him or anything. And, like, I've also used it to find out, like, I don't know if our listeners, like, know. I don't know if I told them or not about how I was going to go out with this guy from Tinder, like, a couple months ago, 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And he FaceTimed me one night, and he was, like, jacking off to my face.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I ended up, like, looking up his number and everything to, like, try to figure out if he was, like, a convicted sex predator or anything like that. I couldn't find out stuff like that, but I could find out where he lived, his full name, and everything about him.
Yeah. It's a very smart thing to do, especially if you're, like, actually planning to meet up with the person.
Yeah.
Find out what you can.
Yeah. That's my piece of advice.
Perfect. I love that. Definitely gonna start doing that. If I need any more help. I feel like I'm a pretty good sleuth when it comes to finding all the information about anybody.
I was gonna say, the Daytona guy, look up his phone number. You can find out everything. You can find his girlfriend. Let her know.
Hopefully he's made a post or something about her.
Something. Also, I need to tell our listeners, when Victoria told me his Snapchat name was Bend Over, I really thought that was his name. I was looking at people named Bend Over.
That's why in that episode I was like, no, that's not him. Why would that be him? And I, like, didn't realize that she, like, actually typed in Bend Over.
I fell for it. I was so dumb.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't have high school boy humor anymore. Sadly.
Sadly. We love
and
maturing faster than men, evidently.
Evidently. And last update I have for you about men.
Okay.
I know there's been so much I've thrown at you.
I know.
I've had nothing else to do all week.
Okay.
So do you remember not the Australia guy who I went out with, but the other Australia guy from TikTok who does music and theater and is a football player?
Yes, actually.
Who is now friends with me on social media, has been in my DMs.
Yeah.
He's now in the draft for the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. Was not expecting that, but good for him.
About to be an NFL wife. How does that look?
Beautiful. Stand there, look pretty.
Here I am with my 6'4" Australian football man.
Honestly, if I could float in that boat, I would too. But
you just gotta find them.
No, first of all, I don't find them. Second of all, I evidently only attract psychopaths, so.
No, I have been there. I've attracted plenty of psychopaths in my life.
We'll see.
You just gotta find the right ones. Our listeners don't know, but Victoria and I have chatted about my celebrity crush and messaging him. I am not messaging him for another 2 days. So I lied to you guys last week.
Yeah. So next episode, you'll hear about...
Next episode.
What went down.
And
hopefully.
if we've planned the date or not. The date won't happen until like 2 weeks. If it happens, but y'all will find out if we actually are able to plan it. There's so much going against me with this. Like, it really stresses me out, and I really want something to happen. Like, I have COVID against me. Like, he could get COVID. I know I just got it, so, like, I'm kind of in the clear, hopefully.
Yeah.
But he could get it. His city could shut down because of it. There could be snow. There's been a lot of snow in that area recently. Mm-hmm. I just need everything to... And he's also, like, travels a lot, so he might not even be in town, but I have so many odds against me. I just need them all to line out perfectly. Yeah.
The Bachelor group of boys have been traveling lately. I actually have another story. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, tell me.
So, you know, when you're, like, looking at, like, Instagram stories, and for me, when I look at them, sometimes I swipe up on, like, my friends just because I think, like, their story's funny or something, and I go and let them know. Yeah. Well... I'll say his name. He's famous. My Bachelor crush is Justin from Katie's season of The Bachelor. I think he is so attractive. I think he's amazing.
He is.
Tall, beautiful. And he posted on his story today, actually, and he was like some traveling thing with his dog, and I slid up and I was like, and like, this is what I would say to my friend, but I slid up and I was like, where are you off to now? Because, like, in my head, it didn't comprehend that was Justin. I was like, oh, my God, one of my friends is traveling again. Like, where are they going? And I slid up. I was like, where are you off to now? And then I was like, oh, my gosh. I just sent that to Justin. If he ever opens his DMs for me, it's over. Because there's probably, like, 5 in a row.
20.
I just keep DMing him.
You know what you can do? You can go back and unsend them. And so then he only sees, like, the most recent one, and you don't look like a psychopath.
Yeah. He will say that it unsent the message. But you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny. I mean, I don't care. But if I do ever meet him, my world will be turned upside down for the better.
I understand. That is how I feel about possibly going on a date with this man in 2 weeks. I will have diarrhea the whole time.
Fingers crossed that's a no.
I will be pooping myself from the minute I leave my house.
It's the screaming, crying, throwing up.
Yep. And then I walk into, like, our date, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
Can you smell the burning butthole?
All right, listeners, if there's anything that you ever needed to do, it's manifest that doesn't happen for Liz. Let's all cross our fingers and hope that doesn't happen.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
I feel like that's all that happened this week. I don't think.
Oh my gosh, we've already been talking for 25 minutes.
Oopsie.
Okay, here's my idea, Victoria. Since we've already been chatting so much, we'll just read them about bin number 2 and not the giant story. We'll save the giant story for next week.
Okay, yeah, just do yours.
Okay. So, I have to backtrack a couple of days. What we read to y'all was the 13th. We have to go back to the 9th. And this is about bin number 2. Remember, he was Joe's stepson who we met in Oshkosh, 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
This is like almost 2 weeks later. He's back in the picture, okay, you guys? Okay. 7/9/21. I think this was the day we opened our country show, and bin number 2 asked for my number from Alyssa. Alyssa is Joe's daughter. He texted me, calling me out. I'm not going to read that. Because I don't want, it's a secret. I can't tell people what that is. But you guys will find out eventually. It may take a year, but you guys will find out eventually.
Okay.
Called me out on something, but he was willing to take on the challenge of getting me to like him, to go on a date with him. I'm changing my words a little bit. I didn't tell him I had met someone I would be willing to stop dating for, which was the guy, the Olympian. Yeah. Which I didn't. We had that conversation, and I didn't stop. I wasn't ready. I thought about it, wasn't ready. But I would still give the guy a chance. I really don't see us going on a date because I've been so focused on the other guy that I've been neglecting responding to him and other guys I've been matching with. Madison and Victoria knew I was texting bin number 2, but I didn't tell Joe. However, after our country show that night, we were sitting in the bar having a powwow, and before Joe left, he looked at me and said, "By the way, if I were to look at your text messages right now, would I find something?" I had been called out. He smoothly walked away after that mic drop.
It was so funny in the moment. Because me and Madison just got to witness it all happen. And our director, Joe, said that and then literally proceeded to walk out and go to his room for the night.
Yep, he was like, "You're texting my son. Okay, bye."
He truly walked away. And it was so funny. It was
really funny.
He nailed it. He found the moment. He took advantage of it. It was like a good stress reliever after the craziness of opening 2 shows in a weekend.
Yep. It was a crazy time. All right. The next thing was the 15th. This was 2 days after Minneapolis. We had our country show today again. We had 2 whole people in our audience, and they left our show early. I said, "Do you know how uncomfortable and awkward it is performing for 2 people?" Was it during Madison's song? I think it was at the end.
During our patriotic section. So for our listeners, to make this make more sense, our country show, it was country music lined up, and then our last 3 songs were our patriotic section. They listened to Liz sing her patriotic song, and Madison was halfway through her patriotic song, and they got up and just left. Yeah. They got up and left, and we were like, okay. And Madison sang her song. She finished her song to nobody in the audience, and then we packed up for the night because our 2-person audience had left. So,
yeah, it was truly awful.
It was awful.
I said the only great thing about this night is that I matched with Kevin Creekman on Bumble, which was that Rockstar guy, because we were like 30 minutes down the road from Rockfest, and he was like a guitarist, Rockstar guy who was there. Y'all can look him up. I just shared his name online.
Yeah.
I said, he's a famous rock star here for Rock Fest. I felt very accomplished that I could pull a rock star. And we never went out or anything like that, but one of his friends ended up friending me on Instagram as well, another, like, rock star guy. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's how I know for sure, like, I wasn't being fooled, because another guy had friended me on Instagram who was with him.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is real. This is real. Oh, and then I talked about Victoria and I going to a Mardi Gras fair in the middle of July the next day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
we have our little alien baby.
It's still in my car. I was
going to say, don't you have it?
Yeah.
We have an alien child.
That was a fun night.
That was really fun. So we watched fireworks by the lake while the boat parade went by. Afterwards, we headed to Fat Bob's to try and meet cute boys, but we didn't see any, so we got one drink and left. Rockfest and Country Jam were still happening, so everything was dead. That was a dead weekend.
It really was. Everybody was enjoying music.
Yeah, I kind of wish we would have done it.
Yeah. But the tickets were really expensive, guys. We didn't do that for that reason. Also, we were really performing. Expensive. So, we didn't do it.
But apparently, Rockfest is a big deal.
Yeah. We heard a lot about it.
Area. Yeah.
When we were over there. But
those are just short, like, little mini
Wisconsin stories. And you may be wondering why Liz said all of that. It's because I chose not to journal about that day. Days, specifically. We were discussing our dates in my journal. I was like, nope, don't have that one. Nope.
I have a massive story of us going to the bar. And, like, we've told you guys the story before a little bit about, like, how we got our name like the Queens. Well, this is the full documented story you guys are about to hear next time.
What happened before, during, and after.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. And then stay tuned for next week to find out if I schedule a date with my celebrity crush.
It's very true. Alrighty.
I've been freaking out. I'm like, should I message him tomorrow? Or should I wait till Tuesday?
Tuesday. Tuesday's the day.
Tuesday's
the day to do it.
Ooh, I just want to get it over with. I just need to know, like... I really hope he's not messing with me. Why would he respond to me and be like, absolutely, if he doesn't mean it?
Yeah, why would he waste his time?
Boys lie. Yeah, why would he waste his time responding to a stranger?
There's anything we have learned is boys lie. But we'll see. So, listeners, manifest good things for Liz.
Thank you.
We both are. And that's that.
Thank
Along
you.
with manifesting, please go ahead and like, rate, review, subscribe, follow. I think that's
on
all
Instagram.
Of them. On Instagram.
Yeah.
Please.
That's everything.
That's everything. So with all of that being said, I'm Victoria.
I'm Elizabeth.
Like the Queens.